Hey guys, I'm back with my video response to episode 215. Another fine episode from you guys. Highly enjoyable and yeah, it was really cool. I especially liked the Rocktron, is it Rocktron? Oh well, the guitar silencer review. Those sound clips were absolutely stellar. I mean, that's the type of quality I was talking about before. But no, I think a noise gate is pretty important. Not everyone can have a quiet environment. I actually don't. You believe it or not, I actually don't use a noise gate. I play some like really high gain stuff, and I never use a noise gate. That's probably because I always use humbuckers for one. That little amp, which you can't see now in the background, that Blackstar amp is really quiet. It's actually amazing how quiet it is, and I never have excessive cables, and I don't really run any effects pedals. I do all the distortion I run is through the amp most of the time, and the effects I run are in the effects loop with the little TC Electronic G Major 2, which is pretty quiet. It does add a little bit of hiss, but you don't hear that in the recordings. There's no hum per se. There's only hiss. A couple of my pedals do hum like crazy, like this one here, which I'm yet to figure out why. Runned off a battery, it's fine. So it's probably my power supplies. However, yeah, no, I think a noise suppressor is pretty important. I used to use one all the time. Well, I used to use it on my racket unit there all the time until I figured out that I didn't actually need one. But yeah, I used to use a friend's Boss NS2 for a little while, and that was pretty cool. The effects loop function, I think, in them is really good to only put the effects that you actually want to be actually within the noise gate circuitry in there, because you wouldn't put like delays and reverbs through it or anything like that. But yeah, it reacts differently to different pedals in the loop, and I think that's a really good feature. So, but at PT, if you just want a loop pedal, the best thing to do is not spend $120 on a noise gate that you don't really need, because unless you play high gain or have some really buzzy pickups, it's kind of a waste of money having that type of pedal. So all you need really is a case, a couple of jacks, and one of these. This is a double pole, double throw foot switch, and this is all you need to make a true bypass looper pedal. And that's it. Like, you don't really need anything else. If you want to have a little LED to show you what you're in, then use a 3-pole switch like that. Now this is all you need. Get a little box, couple of jacks, done. It's a really simple circuit to build. You don't even need a circuit board. So it's just kind of seems silly if you don't use a noise gate. Then putting one in your chain is just adding more unnecessary things to your chain. And in saying that, I think it was Larry on the forum talking about true bypass. I mean, yeah, true bypass pedals are good if you only use a couple of them. If you're going to start doing things like 5 or 6, if you use 10 pedals, then there's really not much point, because you need those buffers. You need those buffers. Like Boss pedals are good, Ibanez pedals are really good, Rocktron pedals. You can't really hear the deterioration in your tone. And how much are you really going to notice it after you've got all those pedals in your effects, and then you're going through other things? Then you're going to mic up your cab anyway. You can use microphone technique to get the highs back. You can bump up the EQ. You can use an EQ pedal. Rack effects EQ, things like that. It's not actually a big deal. I really don't understand why a lot of people go crazy over it. And if you love your true bypass pedals, you might find yourself using a line driver, something like this. Dusty. I just made this. It's a tiny little box. It's just got your in and out jack, power. It's got lights that run underneath the label there. But I run this at the beginning of my chain or at the end of my chain, and yeah, no more treble loss with putting 5 or 6 true bypass pedals in a row. For some reason why you would do that, I don't know. But you're better off getting a couple of looper pedals and keeping everything separate. So, it's a good idea to have one of these if you need it. If you don't, then, if you don't really require, a lot of true bypass pedals, the old Boss pedals, they work fine and they sound good. So, and then when you get into a live situation anyway, if you're playing out live, you guys know, your sound, who knows what you're going to sound like in that environment? Who knows. Not me. Anyway, I've got to stop talking about this, because I could talk about this pedal stuff all day. What's next on my little list? Black Friday. We don't really celebrate Black Friday in that manner here in Australia. It's a little more religious, I guess, if I'm thinking about the right holiday. You know, I only eat fish, blah, 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 Jesus, blah, blah, blah. I grew up in a very strict Catholic family, which is why I'm really against religion. But if, other people are religious, good for them. I'm not going to knock them or anything like that. But, that's sort of how we celebrate Black Friday here. We don't really have openings at stores really early on certain days, except for Christmas time. Near Christmas time, they open like 24 hours, a couple of shops. But you'd be hard-pressed, even on a normal day, to see a shop open on a Sunday past 4 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock max. However, I have been to a midnight sale once with a friend of mine. Are you ready for this? We were lining up for the release of the expansion pack for Worlds of Warcraft. That's right. He asked me if I could drive him there, because he didn't have a car or a license. I can't remember what the reason was at the time. So 12 o'clock at night, we were on our way to the shopping centre. The line, oh my God, it was like going into a nightclub. It was just, there's so many people, and there's a couple of people that were dressed up. And it was funny because there was this guy, this New Zealander guy, that he was just walking past. And he came up to me, he's like, hey bro, what kind of club is this? And I said, dude, this isn't a club, man. So he walks up to they had security guards there to make sure these hardcore gaming enthusiasts don't cause any riots when they open the doors. And this guy goes up to the security guard and goes, hey bro, can I get into this club dressed like this? Do I have to have any like dress shoes? And I'm just like, what the hell? And the security guard's trying to explain to him that it's not a nightclub, that it's just a release of a very important video game for people. And the guy didn't believe him, this guy from New Zealand, and he got the shits and went off because he didn't think he was going to get let into the club. But what I want to know is, there weren't very many girls in that line. I think I counted 3 and probably 150 dudes, so maybe he thought it was that kind of club and wanted to go in there. Good for him, though. But yeah, that's the only real line-up sort of thing I've experienced. But, yeah. Anyways, let's get on to the naming of the guitar. Natasha, that's interesting. My girlfriend's name's Natasha. But I think that's a cool name for the guitar. Not as cool as Bilbo Baggins from the Shire, no way. But yeah, so my guitars I actually named. My brown RG is Jaquita, and the black one is Consuelo. So or Consuela, I should probably say. So I think it's pretty important to name them. Oh, my acoustic guitar, I call that Jose. So yeah, but anyway, no, you have a bond with your guitars, and some people do it, some people don't. But that's a cool name for PT's blue S-style Benford. So, anyways, what's next? Oh, the negative emails. I'll tell you what. If you get any more, you send them my way. We'll see what happens to them. Hey, I'm just kidding. No violence here, but like if people get upset, and PT, I know that you emailed this guy back and you talked about things, worked it out, whatever. But, stiff shit for him. If you don't like McDonald's, you don't eat it. You don't like Kentucky Fried Chicken, you don't eat it. If you don't like electric guitar, you don't play electric guitar. It's as simple as that. Because you get a lot of that rubbish on YouTube as well. People are like, oh, this is crap, you don't research it enough, oh, you can't play well enough to do a review, blah, blah, blah. You know what, if you don't like it, don't listen to it. It's as simple as that. I've got no sympathy for these idiots out there that want to be too opinionated. If life is that bad for them that they have to, write off, whingy emails about things that don't really affect their lives, then, it's quite sad, but yeah, there are a lot of episodes that I don't like. It's not as if I'm going to have a cry about it. Not really the episodes, just some of the topics. But, yeah, life's like that, You can't have chicken for every meal. But how good is chicken? So, anyways, what's next? The Gow, Jerry Garcia. I have to admit, I don't really know much Jerry Garcia or the Grateful Dead. I'll have to check some out. I will check some out on the tube of you. So anyway, I better keep this thing short because I keep talking too much. Great outro song, Pipes. That's the last song you have done for one of the albums, I do believe. Could be wrong. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Can't wait for the next episode. So, yeah, bliss on.